It's What Chaos on U.S. Thursday, U.S. January 25th in the United States of America. I'm DJ. Pete is here. Sean is here. Sean, what was that crazy stat you were hitting me with earlier?
3 of last night's games ended in a 6-2 score.
That's crazy. So we start there. We start with the Los Angeles Chargers having a coach.
Oh, yeah. Congratulations. Good for you. So happy for you. You have a coach who cheats. Nice. Who runs away from his problems.
Born loser.
Good. You think that he's a loser?
I mean, the only year that he's won literally anything other than
he literally won
NFC
everything.
Championship. He won everything, but it just so happened to be the year that they may or may not have cheated. All I'm saying. Kind of a Mickey Mouse ring.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's just that he and Kaepernick for like 5 minutes had lightning in a bottle, and for a second, Colin Kaepernick was a good quarterback, and Jim Harbaugh was like a great coach.
No, yeah, I'm partially kidding. I do like Jim Harbaugh, but I hate Michigan.
What if Michigan hires Bill Belichick now, a coach who's famously never cheated?
That would be incredible.
That would be a real rehabilitation of the program's image.
I don't know what happens to Bill Belichick. I mean, Harbaugh goes to L.A., does Belichick go to L.A.? Because in just a moment, we're going to talk about the Kings potentially having a coaching opening or some sort of opening or a roster opening or whatever. Buddy, they've been cheeks last night. We'll quickly update the folks. They were asking if there was gravy on the JV last night. Got a bolognese, kept it clean, but I took the jersey off.
Bolognese. Oh, you took the jersey off?
Yeah.
That's what? Did you just like drape it over the back of your chair?
It was
at
very
dinner?
tough to take it off too, because this is a... it's not like a snug fitting jersey, but hockey jerseys sneaky tough to get on and off. It was in a small Italian restaurant. I had to stand up, look like an asshole, but I'd look like a bigger asshole if I had gravy on the JV. Feel me?
That's fair. Like I guess I respect the move, but it is kind of wild. It's like that's like taking your shirt off to like go to the bathroom. I know there are people that like do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't do that, but
there are hooks
do
on the back
people.
of bathroom doors for a reason.
You know who does that? Is that Stavros guy? He has to. I imagine that guy takes his shirt off for everything.
Taking your shirt off to go to the bathroom is incredible.
Taking your shirt off for things that you don't. I mean, really, men never need to take their shirt off,
and yet they always do. Look at Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, he's a famous guy. Well, the Seth Jarvis, by the way, the Hurricanes kind of rocked the Bruins, even though it was just a 3-2 game. But the Hurricanes were so much better than the Bruins. And Seth Jarvis looked really good. It was the mom's trip for the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this. Why are mom's trips always in Boston?
Because Boston's a good city.
Is that... But like Columbus did it?
Yep.
Mom's trips of teams with whom we've done content always occur in Boston.
Maybe they're just hoping to run into us. Maybe moms love us. Who's to say?
That is true.
I do have to point out, though, that last night Spencer Martin had a real deja vu game.
I was screaming that. I don't think anybody... Like, I think that I like broke that news to my section. I was like, this was the guy.
Yeah, the Blue Jackets goalie who shut out the Bruins for 40 straight minutes and then got absolutely dumped on by Brad Marchand, who got a hat trick in December in their game in Boston. And then last night, Spencer Martin, now with the Carolina Hurricanes, shut out the Bruins for 40 straight minutes. And then in the third period, let up 2 goals to Brad Marchand. I was like, holy shit, how are we here again?
It was amazing. Just classic. Pete Blackburn voice. I tweeted, it takes Brad Marchand. It always takes Brad Marchand 40 minutes to realize Spencer Martin is the goalie. Then he's like, oh, easy. Shout out Spencer Martin. Kings are in a bad way. The Kings are in a very bad way, but you could just say they got Levi'd. They blow a 3-goal lead to the Sabres last night. Devin Levi just owns that ass. And now they have lost 12 of 14 games, 5 of them in shootouts or overtime, but that just means they don't have a winning quotient. can't seal games, and everybody's pissed there. They're the number one wild card team in the West right now, but that is not what they should be.
No, absolutely not. And if you point to the loser points, you're a loser. And I think Anze Kopitar said that after the game. He was just like, we're supposed to be winning games, and we're not winning games. Losing 12 out of 14 for this team for the way that they started is unacceptable. Obviously, we've talked about the Kings in this slide a few times. This is the first time that I've felt like, okay, there is something actually maybe wrong here, and maybe they're not just going to wait it out and get out of it. Because when you lose a game, obviously the Sabres not a great team this year. Blowing a 3-1 lead to the Sabres, never a good look, especially when you're in the middle of a slide, especially when you're supposed to be a team seizing wins and getting back on the right track. So that in and of itself, bad news, but nothing new. Obviously, the Kings keep losing games. The bigger problem is after the game, you really start to see shit hit the fan. Drew Doughty talked about like, our guys kind of suck right now. He had a very similar sort of soundbite as to Mikko Rantanen earlier in the year, or no, Devin Taves earlier in the year, when Devin Taves was talking about the Avs and was like, too many guys out here think that they're playing good, and they are not playing good. Doughty's actual quote was, we got guys in this room too worried about themselves and too worried about their points and not worried about the team. So that to me screams PLD.
You think so?
PLD scored a power play goal last night, but that he has officially hit double digits in goals. He's got 10 goals, 10 assists. They're like 42 games. Obviously, PLD not having a good season with the Kings. There is a lot of eyeballs on him. There are a lot of guys I'm sure that Drew Doughty was talking about, but PLD was the first guy that jumped to mind.
Well, Sean, do you have the quote graphic that Bleacher Report put out there of Drew Doughty saying we got guys in this room. It's this famous quote that's going around. I saw this and I just thought, damn, imagine how much worse it would look, Sean, if he was wearing that fucking silver helmet. So at least it's not that bad. That looks so much worse. By the way, I had a full day of people saying, hey, you found the only two people who think that those silver helmets are good. I was told that I was
really
deeply in the right, which I don't care about. I'm
stunned. I think those helmets are unbelievable, and they don't look great on those particular jerseys because those jerseys stink.
Yeah, they do those
Chevron ones.
They do those with the white ones, but it does remind me of the Taves thing where disappointed. I don't know if you call Taves a leader, but like disappointed
He's
leader.
A leader for sure.
Yeah, disappointed leader. And in hockey, when you're not winning, it is a very team sport, but there's only so many straws at which you can grasp before you're like, people aren't fucking bringing it enough. I think that's why hockey fans are always yelling shoot and things like that, because like there's only so many things that you can blame it on before you get to you're not trying hard enough, your head isn't in the right place. And if a little over halfway through the season, you got a leader and a multi-time Stanley Cup champion exasperated, looking around at his teammates, that is no bueno time, especially when you're in a division that is fucking loaded.
Yeah. And I mean, the Kings are in a place right now too, where I think they're kind of overthinking everything. And, as soon as something goes wrong, they get in their own heads, and then make a million more mistakes. And you can tell Todd McLellan's definitely getting frustrated, definitely getting upset. He said last night too, that like the stupidity that went into that loss is beyond explainable, which tremendous quote from a guy who has acknowledged that he thinks that he is now on the hot seat, despite Rob Blake. Again, we talked about this yesterday. Rob Blake, less than a week ago, or maybe a week ago at this point, said, we are not changing coaches this year. This is the guy. We're going to rely on the players to figure this stuff out. We're going to rely on the system to kind of correct things. And now McLellan says that last night, and then Dennis Bernstein of the fourth period asked him if he thought like his job was in jeopardy, and he was like, I think that's a totally fair question to ask. I don't blame you for asking that. I would do the same thing if I was in your position. So, and then we had a Drager tweet this morning saying the Kings business as usual ... for now. So it does seem like the seeds are being planted that, okay, we could be nearing the bottom here.
I would like to commend Todd McLellan, a coach who has been hired and fired 3 billion times. It feels like he's coached every team in the league, but this is a coach who presumably is on the hot seat, getting on the hot seat, on a very hot seat, and speaks frankly about his team. He called them stupid last night. He called them really dumb. He didn't say, hey, we're kind of dumb. He said, we played really dumb. That's what we did. Look at another LA coach. I mentioned the Chargers before, Jim Harbaugh. When Brandon Staley was on the hot seat, he was just flipping out and throwing tantrums at the media every 5 seconds, saying, I don't know what you want me to tell you. Okay? The guy dropped the pass because footballs are slippery, okay? And just making every excuse and talking down to people and really alienating himself from both the fan base and the community. If I'm a Kings fan, I'm looking at Todd McLellan the way I'm looking at Todd McLellan right now the way earlier in the season I, as an Oilers fan, was looking at Jay Woodcroft, where it's like, damn, he just knows this is fucked right now. And I hope he can steer his way out of it because you don't want anyone to get fired. And I don't think Todd McLellan's a bad coach. Spoiler alert, if and when he gets fired from this job, he's going to get another one. Even as we move kind of past the era of these coaching cycles and everybody's a retread and you get 100 jobs, Todd McLellan, I think, is a good enough coach that a team that is maybe on the doorstep of making the playoffs will say, hey, bring him in. He'll kind of straighten it out. He's a bit of an adult. I like at least the way that he's handling it because he's not saying like, look, we're really close here. And if you look at our last 5 losses have been within 3 goals of winning, okay? So we almost won, so fuck you. He's not doing that. He's saying, like, God, what are we doing?
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like there is accountability from a lot of people within the Kings room. I typically love making fun of Drew Doughty because when things go wrong for the Kings, which they did for years, he's whiny. He's very, very whiny. He's very bitchy. You can tell that, he cares, but he whines. In this particular case, I have no problem with him saying what he said because I think that he's right. That team is clearly not engaged all the time. They're not making the appropriate plays in terms of team decisions and smart decisions for the situations that they're in. So, I don't have any problem here. It's just, and I think that McLellan is a good coach. I just worry about him given what happened last night. And there is a point that you hit where you're like, okay, this team is kind of eating itself alive. You have to do something about it. And, maybe it's not the coach's fault, but you can't continue to let this fester the way that it is. And this is the first time that I've kind of reached that point where I'm starting to worry about the Kings and really, really consider what happens next.
2 interesting things about this stretch for the Kings, their last 14 games. Their 2 victories were against good to really good teams. They beat the Hurricanes on the road, and they beat the Rangers. So the
Rangers have not been a really good team recently.
Yeah, fair. They're showing, though, that their roster is what we think it is. Obviously, Dubois is kind of a shit show, but their roster is strong. We like them down the middle. When they need to, they can pull it out, but they kind of need to now, and their next 3 are on the road, including their next game in Colorado against an Avalanche team that is partying right now.
Yeah, you want to get into the Avalanche now? It's a great,
let's
great
head out
segue.
west
What a
from
professional
LA.
segue by
From
you.
LA, we go out west.
Right. It just depends on which way you're looking at the map.
That is very fair. Would you know how to do that? If you were, I mean, I know the answer, but if you were lost in the woods, would you be able to get due north? No.
What? No.
No, you would end up just lower or something. You'd sink into the ground. I don't know what would.
Did you end up watching Leave the World Behind?
No, I watched the Pine Barrens episode of The Sopranos, and that's all I need.
Well, in Leave the World Behind, Ethan Hawke plays a new age guy who loves technology, and as soon as the grid goes down, he's like, I am a useless baby boy. I can't do anything. And I was like, I've never related more to a character than that guy.
I've been saying that forever. When not to freak out the audience, I forgot who I was telling the story to recently, but when I first signed up for a 401k and my dad was explaining it to me, I was like, Dave, the grid is so vulnerable. I'm living to 59 and a half. Come on. And he was like, you have to have a fucking 401k. I'll kill you. And I was like, the grid goes down. I'm dead within an hour. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how. Like, the grid goes down. I starve to death within an hour. I don't even know how that's possible. I'll be coming from the Wendy's drive-through. All the lights go off. And I'm like, well, like I die soon.
Yeah. Like in like a Armageddon movie or whatever, I'm the person that is in the first 5 minutes of the movie who like gets in a car accident and dies as they're trying to flee the town.
That totally happened. Like the lights go out and then it's like,
yeah. I'm dead before the grid is even officially down, before the body is cold on the grid.
This is the most, this is dark. Like I used to even think like when I was like Bruins games and stuff, I'd be like, I hope the grid doesn't go down now. There's so many people in here. It's be so annoying trying to get out of here. Sean, for some of that conversation, truly had like the most, I work with the two dumbest people in the world.
Oh,
face.
no. The entire time I was just thinking about how vulnerable particularly Texas's grid is, because Texas, for some reason, wants to be on their own grid, unlike everybody else in the United States.
So
Fun
you are
fact.
my guy for also being a grid-fearing man, but I didn't like that when I saw that you were agreeing with it. I like celebrated as you were saying.
We're all
Texas's
gonna die.
grid is
I mean,
vulnerable.
I don't generally worry about the grid, although I probably should. But I'm just saying, like, what was it, 2 years ago where the entire state of Texas almost froze to death because they just don't have a real grid because they're Texas and they do whatever they want?
I've had like AJ Soprano like disappearances over the grid where I'll just be like, I'm not available. It hasn't happened in a while, but I'll be like, I'm not available for 3 days. I'm just like,
I'm preparing for the grid.
No, like I'm just sitting there thinking about how sad and like tortured I am by the possibility of the grid going down.
We are not a survival podcast.
I want to say I'm not, but like also, if I was in the woods, I could totally find due north. That seems like incredible.
I don't even know what that means.
Use the sun. Like if the sun's going down, you know what direction the sun goes, and then you have the other 4 directions from there.
And that is due north?
No, the sun would be either, what is it, rise in the west,
east,
rise in the
west?
east, sets in the west. So depending on what time of day it is, you could generally tell if it's early in the day or late in the day.
Okay.
You're not supposed to look the sun in the eye, though.
That is true.
That is true. But you don't look at the sun in the eye. You look north in the eye.
Trump did it, though. That was badass.
Yeah.
Remember that?
It sure was.
They were like, everybody wear these glasses today when you look at the sun. And Trump was like, what sun?
I do love
this is like the last month that we can laugh about Trump, by the way, before it gets scary again.
I know.
I was trying to watch Katie Nolan on Celebrity Jeopardy the other day because I've missed all the episodes. And it was like 7:55 and I was like, oh, right, Katie's episode of Celebrity Jeopardy. I'm going to fucking watch it. And I went to the TV and they kept cutting in to be like, news update. Republicans in New Hampshire like Donald Trump. And I was like, ugh, I could fucking tell you that. Get out of here.
Shane Gillis is about to become the most powerful man in the world over like the next 12 months. I also do love that that I gave you credit for like an exquisite transition and segue. Then we just completely veered off the road.
Shout out Chris, diehard from PHNX. I completely forgot to mention the generator in the basement of the building that the PHNX is based in exploded last night, set on fire. The ambulance came, or not the fire department came. They couldn't go back in the building, so they didn't get to do their show last night. The grid went down in just one specific part of downtown Phoenix.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean,
Don't have a real NHL arena. Don't have a real all-city studio. You hate to see it.
was anybody hurt? Did anyone die within the hour?
Not that I know of.
I think I would need to know really quickly that like it was gonna be okay. I would my body would like instinctively die.
I think what had happened was it was like in the basement of the building where the parking garage is. So I think people were concerned about their cars, but there was no one down there. It just shut the power off, and then they had to leave the building, and they're like, "What's going on?"
I bet that was all happening so fast.
It was also happening in the midst of the Arizona Coyotes getting their ass kicked by the Florida Panthers. So they were like,
damn, like physically as well. They were.
Yes.
What's that last comment in the chat? Whatever you boys do, whatever you lads do, don't Google what?
Load shedding.
Load shedding.
This is
I
horrible.
mean, I'll do that and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, please Google that. In the meantime, can we talk about Nathan MacKinnon?
I'm going to do it on a private browser because I'm scared.
Yeah, load shedding seems like it could go in one of two directions.
No, we're going to talk about how hockey games move fast, but with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, you can score faster than anything happening on the ice. This week, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. I'm probably going to jump tonight on Oilers 60-minute line.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll even wait to see if Chicago can take a 1-0 lead on them. They could be very disruptory. Who knows? But what I've been into lately is when the Oilers fall behind in these games, which they do, I jump on them to win in regulation. And they end up doing it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code WhatChaos. New customers bet just $5 on the NHL and get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code WhatChaos. The crown is yours. Here we go.
Wait,
Let's do it.
do we got a timer? Okay.
All right. I'm going to really... What was my time last time?
41 something, because I think you said you believe that you could get it down to 39.
That was a practice run.
I think it was like 47 or something.
Okay.
It was crazy. All right.
Wait, hold on. Let me fire this up. Ready, set, go.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NEW YORK or text HOPE-NEW YORK 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for gambling problem. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire in 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright 2024 NHL. All rights reserved.
Damn. I got 34-20.
I got 34.5, so
So-
we're right there. It's about 34 seconds. There you go.
Do you think that you could ever get sub 30?
Yeah.
You think so?
But that would be
Is that
like,
the new goal?
That would be like Rap God, like, By the way, that one isn't impressive. I don't think that Rap God is impressive. I think that Look at Me Now is impressive.
Yes, agreed.
I think both are impressive.
Yeah, but Rap God, and you can hear it, is just like very edited and clean and perfect and quantized and fixed. Busta just went in and was like, I'm not going to say one word of it, but like,
And I gotta taste it.
The real superstar is Twista.
Twista was so
Wow.
man.
Yeah, what a
Twista went
been a long
Nathan
time.
MacKinnon mode.
I love me some
Pots and pans banging everywhere when Twista rapped.
I love me some Overnight Celebrity.
Oh yeah.
That was the good stuff. Well, Nathan MacKinnon scored 4 goals and added a helper last night. He's got 30 goals, which is tied for 4th in the league. He leads the league with 52 helpers and 82 points. He's on pace for over 100 points because he's on pace for over 120 points because he's on pace for 140 points. The man is out of his mind, and last night there were hats flying, there were thongs flying, people were throwing ass. It was really a scene.
It was.
This was on the road. No, I'm kidding.
That would have been incredible. We had bras.
People just throwing ass. Like,
We had bras on the ice, thongs on the ice.
She'll get brought up later for a different reason, but DNVR's Megan Angley pointed out that bra is like a $40 Victoria's Secret bra.
Mm-hmm.
So the girls were I forget exactly how she phrased it, but the women were feeling it last night.
The girlies were feral for Nathan
Apparently.
for Nathan MacKinnon's performance last night. I have arrived finally, officially it is Nathan MacKinnon's year for MVP. He is the best player in the world this year. It's, no disrespect to Connor McDavid, who I have money on to win the Hart because unbelievable odds when the Oilers were struggling. Nathan MacKinnon has been outrageous this year. And what a legend. He has finished inside the Hart top 5 4 times. He's been a runner-up twice. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. This year, he's on pace for 51 goals, 89 points, 51 goals, 89 assists, 140 points. He's playing over 23 minutes a night. He's doing it like almost every single night. He has 7 game-winning goals. The staggering stats here, like if you look under the hood, the staggering stats, the Avalanche are outscoring opponents 115-55 with MacKinnon on the ice at all strengths. And
those are some crazy games.
That's right.
Winning games 115-55. These are averages.
That's right. It's the median. His expected goals rate is 86.65%, which is first in the entire NHL and like by a pretty wide margin. So like MacKinnon is having one of the more dominant seasons, like almost on par with the dominance that we've seen from McDavid in years past, where you're like, this guy's just playing in a different league. That's Nathan MacKinnon this year, and it makes me so happy.
Two things.
Feed me the piss jersey.
2 things. You didn't get good odds on McDavid.
Like relatively, like plus 350 or something.
Okay, that's pretty good. But like Vegas never gave up on the Oilers, which was annoying because I was looking at my futures like a few weeks ago. I think I told you, like I was looking at my futures. I was like, I never jumped on the Oilers. And then I remembered like the odds didn't change drastically. Vegas was like, you guys are dumb. You're going to take them no matter what.
Like plus 350 obviously isn't amazing for a guy to win MVP, but when it's McDavid, that is as good as you're probably going to get for a little bit.
I think that what makes MacKinnon the Hart winner is he not only leads the NHL in points, but he's the only guy in the top 4 or 5 who is a center. It's all the points leaders this year are wings. It's Pasternak, it's Rantanen, it's Kucherov, it's who else is on? I mean,
Panarin,
Nylander, JT Miller. So JT Miller is the, let's see, how many guys in, so let's go top 10. MacKinnon, center, obviously, Kucherov, Pasternak, Rantanen, JT Miller, center, Panarin, Nylander, Pettersson, center, McDavid, center.
That's interesting.
That's like,
it's pretty out of the norm, I would say.
It's generally a lot of scoring centers because they have a million assists. But yeah, like I don't think, shout out David Pasternak, he would not be, he'd be, I think like a guy like Pasternak is like gets like a 4th, 5th, that type of situation. The only person I think is running away with it is MacKinnon.
Yeah, baby. MacKinnon, I cannot wait to get my hands on that piss jersey, but like MacKinnon has been due for an MVP win for quite some time now. It's just like, it's unfortunate that it seems like he's always playing behind somebody who is like out of their mind. Whether it's McDavid, it's usually McDavid, but this is his year. I've arrived, like give him the Hart now.
You know what I regret? Speaking of giving up my vote on all these awards. I would have liked it if
did you give it up or was it taken from you?
I gave it up.
Really?
I didn't want to pay the fees anymore.
How much is it per year?
Not a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I was just like not actively. I have a thing about like covering hockey versus like with no disrespect, like none of us should vote for the awards. I don't think so. Sean, you think you should vote for the awards?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going. So maybe
I'd
I'm
vote
doing
for
like
the awards.
A dated thing.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen for Vezina.
I think I should. I would say that I watch more hockey than a lot of people.
So that's the thing. Like I was gonna say, like unless you cover it, but then like what is covering it really do? I guess covering it means that you're forced to watch it. But like I covered it and I was forced to watch every Bruins game.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I feel like a lot of people
Pete hasn't, and he has definitely watched more games a season than I have. Like I probably in covering a team, I probably watched like 120 hockey games a year. Like the 82 I had to, and then 41 on odds night. That whole time you were watching like 3 or 4 games a night.
Yeah.
You're probably watching like 600 games a year. So I'm changing my thing.
Yeah,
we should have a vote.
Yeah, like so when I think about the people that have votes, like most of them, not most of them, that's probably unfair, but a lot of them probably only watch their team.
Right.
The team that they're forced to cover, and then like maybe, like you said, some odd games here and there. And like that, you can tell, like reflective in the voting, how biased people are towards their own teams and the guys that they watch every night. So like in that scheme of things, like I think that we should have a vote. Plus, like I know of a prominent media personality who was offered a vote, and his response was, "No, thank you. I don't watch the games."
Really?
Yes.
I have a friend who was offered a vote in their first year covering the NHL, and they said like, "Hey, if it's all the same, I'd like to like earn it." And
really?
I said, "What a fucking legend. That's
awesome.
So cool," because there's nothing sports writers like more than talking about themselves and being like, "Hey, I do this.
Important.
I get to do this.
Yeah.
I'm important." So when I found that out, my respect for this person, which was already high, it was like the opposite of Johnny Sack. You know, my estimation of John Sacramone as a man just fucking plummeted.
You've been like on a big Sopranos kick, huh?
Huge Sopranos kick.
Good for you.
Huge Sopranos kick. Another thing with so I changed that, by the way. Maybe I shouldn't have had a vote in the first place, but now I should.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say I should have held on to it all those years when I wasn't exclusively doing hockey, and then we could have one now, and people would be able to tell it was us. They'd be like, who gave Zach Hyman a first place MVP vote? Who gave, no, you know what? Like our ballot would be like, first place Hart vote went to Alexander Georgiev as a shit post because we can't vote for Vezina. And then just like a bunch of asshole votes. I think it would be very nice. Speaking of Alexander Georgiev, Jared Bednar told the biggest fucking lie of his life yesterday. Everybody was very excited. He said that, let me see. We don't have like the full quote, but Megan Angley, who covers the Avalanche for All City, said, Bednar said that Alexander Georgiev deserves to go to the All-Star game, said that Georgiev has faced a lot of criticism and ups and downs, but their place in the standings is thanks in part to Georgiev and his dedication. I get why you say that as a coach, because you want to be nice to your player, but that's the biggest fucking lie in the world. And I saw some people agreeing with that sentiment, and it's so fucking wrong. He's 32nd in the league in goals against. He is tied for 42nd in the league in save percentage. If you're not one of the 32 best goalies, not only are you not an all-star, you're not fucking good. And Georgiev has not been very good this season.
I don't really like giving credit to workhorse goalies who aren't really getting the results. Like, you don't get credit just for being played a lot. It happens a lot when you talk about the Vezina discussion at the end of the year, where it's like, okay, I specifically go back to the year where Connor Hellebuck won over Tuukka Rask, and his numbers were like just slightly worse, but he played a lot more. And in that case, I can give credit to it because he's playing a ton and he's still playing really, really well behind a bad defense. In the case of Georgiev, like, he's playing a ton, he's not playing really well, and the team in front of him on most nights is pretty good. And like he doesn't get credit just for showing up and doing his job.
So when you have, I think what you're saying is when you have comparable stats, the tiebreakers can be,
correct.
Is your team good? Do you play a lot? Georgiev, if he had good stats, would have the tiebreaker over better goalies, but he doesn't have good stats. And that's the most
important. Save percentage is sub 900.
It would be honestly like saying, like the Sharks have fewer or have more regulation and overtime wins than this other team that has like way more points than them or something like that. And like using some tiebreak or like head to head, this bad team has this over another team. It's like, well, that doesn't matter because the other team is better, and you first determine it by which one is good and which one is bad. And I hate that there's now multiple times where we've had to be like, Georgiev isn't
I don't want to dump on this guy. Like, I don't want to be like,
we wouldn't be saying
Alexander
it otherwise.
Georgiev sucks. Fuck this guy. Like, I think that Georgiev is a pretty good goalie, and I think that the Avalanche need to give him help. But we're being forced into a position to be like, Why is everybody going nuts over this guy? Why is he an all-star? Why is Jared Bednar like, I guess I can understand Jared Bednar. Like, that's his guy.
Gotta lie.
Right. But, it's chill out with the Georgiev stuff. It reminds me of like when we went to MSG. There's a banner at MSG right now with like Harry Styles, most consecutive shows played. It's like 16 straight shows. Is okay. Why does he get a banner for that? How good were the shows? How good of a show did he put on? How long did he play? You don't get credit. You don't get a banner just for showing up to work for 16 straight days.
Keep talking for 10 more seconds because I'm about to blow your mind.
Is this gonna be a Billy Joel thing?
Absolutely, it's going to be a Billy Joel.
I know that Billy Joel had like the record or whatever. But
so I'm looking up. You said like, how were the shows? What did he do? I think that what is impressive about that is he sold out, or presumably sold enough tickets to book Madison Square Garden 16 times. Yeah. When Harry Styles played Madison Square Garden, he played 19 songs. When Billy Joel plays Madison Square Garden, he plays 35 songs. And folks, the Billy Joel songs are a lot better. Although Harry Styles does have some good songs, like I can't imagine Harry Styles is busting out Don't Ask Me Why and Moving Out and Sometimes a Fantasy. She's Always a Woman. I could go on and on and on. Billy Joel, greater than Harry Styles, greater than Alexander Georgiev.
We've never talked about this, but while we're on the topic of Jared Bednar, one of the most handsome coaches in the NHL.
Yes, but also Alexander Georgiev, a handsome guy. I like his general look. He looks like he'd do a leather jacket well. He's got like the kind of flat, not voluminous, long hair.
Maybe he can do that at the All-Star game, and that will distract everybody from wondering why he's there.
We should go around at the All-Star game and be like, isn't it good to see Alexander Georgiev here? Because he's good and he deserves to be here, right? And just be those reporters that are like, everyone's saying that like he's not good, but he's fucking good, right? And then it's just like a super cut of guys being like, oh yeah, he's a really good player. He's got a really good team. He's got a great attitude. That's what you want. You always want a good goalie back there. And I'm sure those guys feel really comfortable playing in front of him. Being like, yeah, we rest our fucking case. Okay? Georgiev's really good. Not the best goaltender in the league, though. That would go to Ilya Samsonov because that motherfucker is back. You know this?
Yeah, I
didn't
know that
until yesterday. I didn't know he was back.
The clip of Samsonov making like 4 saves in a row on a 2-on-0, and it takes 40 seconds for a Maple Leafs player to show up in frame was incredible. Who is that against? Was that against the Jets?
It was against the Jets.
Yeah.
It was like
so,
like
that was one of the most funny clips that I've seen this season, where it's just a 2-on-0 against Samsonov, and they have 19 chances to score a goal. They don't. Great saves, but absolutely no help. That's a real, what the fuck are you doing, you stupid idiots, to the entire Maple Leafs roster.
The Maple Leafs and Samsonov beat the Jets 1-0 in overtime. A 1-0 shutout win over the Jets, who, you know what they've been doing lately? Sucking ass. The Jets fucking suck. They are on a 2-game fucking falling off of a mountain is what they are.
They gave up 1 goal.
They are plummeting they are racing down the standings, and I don't see this skid ending anytime soon. The Jets are in big trouble, and Drew Doughty is going to start calling out guys on the Jets. He's going to be like, at least we're not the fucking Jets. And then Todd McLellan will be like, look, we're stupid. We're really dumb. We're not the fucking Jets. They're in trouble. I think they need Ilya Samsonov to fix their goaltending situation.
I'm not on the Ilya Samsonov train just yet.
You're not doing Samsonov to Winnipeg?
Yeah, that's right. It is good to see him have his day in the sun, because he has had a lot of days in the shade to start this season, and it's been tough.
Is at zero risk of any sort of skin issue or anything.
Right.
No sun.
No sunblock whatsoever.
Doesn't need it.
He got pretty emotional talking about the crowd chanting his name. I think that he was like, either he had tears or was on the verge of tears, but it was really good to see that that guy's been through it. So I like, even when it's a Maple Leaf, I like when guys who have been at not so much fault of their own.
Yeah, and I forget
having a tough time.
Yeah, and I forget who it was that put out the thing of like, if the Leafs didn't if you take away the games where Ilya Samsonov played, the Leafs have the best goaltending in the league. It was like, fuck you, man. Like, I know it's like a media thing or whatever, but get out of here. Like, you guys have sucked. He's been really bad, and he's also played more than your other goalies. So, like, this is your problem. Don't make it about him.
Yeah, I'm.
Don't distance yourself from him as you literally distance yourself from him because you kick him off the team for a little bit.
It takes a lot for me to like sympathize with a Leafs player, but Ilya Samsonov is one of those guys.
We can sympathize with Ilya Samsonov because he's not a player the Leafs want. So we want him to do well and shove it up their ass. Emilia de Moldenberg, we forgot to bring this up, tweeted at the Maple Leafs saying, "Hello, what is the best email to contact you via?" Bad sentence. Thanks so much.
She's British.
What do you think she's? Yeah, that's right.
She tweets better than Ellie Goulding.
That's true. What do you think she's up to? Who do you think she wants?
My best guess would be Nylander. Nylander's had a bit of a like icon, and Nylander having a moment kind of phase. Maybe that's ending because he's been cheeks since putting that pen to paper. But I don't know. Who else would you... Nylander or Matthews? Who else?
I would be stunned if it was a Maple Leafs player. I think it's a Bieber thing or something about the All-Star game or something like trying to get somebody big. Emilia de Moldenberg does not fucking get out of bed for anything less than Paul Mescal these days.
Yeah, but why would she reach out to the Maple Leafs directly?
No, I have no idea how she does her business.
Me either, but like that seems like you go to the Maple Leafs if you want a Maple Leafs player. Like if she was doing an All-Star thing, go to the NHL.
Right. So obviously, like, there's a better way to do it. Right. I'm saying maybe she just doesn't.
Are you saying you know how to do her job better than she does?
No, I'm saying that it sounds very unlikely that if Emilia de Moldenberg makes a piece of content with William Nylander, I will give you $100.
Okay. No
questions asked.
Okay. What about Austin Matthews? Do I get both of them?
I mean, I'm still like leaning $100
for either one of them.
It's not what she's doing. She can't be.
I mean, put your money where your mouth is.
If it's like a Bieber and Austin Matthews thing, then you have to give me like $5,000 because I'm so fucking right.
Just Maple Leafs player alone, or several Maple Leafs players. No outside.
If it's a Maple Leafs player alone and it's not for a Maple Leafs piece of content, because like Sean Evans does like Hot Ones things with the Chargers. That's the Chargers being like, hey, we want to be in the Sean Evans business. I understand how the Leafs would be like, Emilia de Moldenberg, make some stuff with us. That's not what this looks like.
Right, exactly.
But if it's Emilia de Moldenberg put something out on her channels with, hey, guys, I got William Nylander, I give you $100 because that's not what it can be.
Okay. I definitely think it's Austin Matthews, A. B, I definitely think she's going after a Maple Leafs player. So I'm on Pete's side. But this is just an absurd way to do that. Like, to just tweet at the Maple Leafs so some social intern can respond.
I was just about to say.
That made no sense
You're
to me.
crazy if you think that there's an intern.
Well, not an intern, but like, I'm just saying, like, there's going to be some person who definitely does not have the power to get her a Maple Leaf player.
Well, I mean, you're running up the chain.
I know, but it just doesn't make sense to go about it.
It's very astonishing to me. I mean,
it's astonishing to me that she has to go through like a public social channel.
She has... I mean, I've done that before and it's worked, but like if you can avoid it, like it just means that she doesn't know anybody in hockey. Crazy. Emilia de Moldenberg,
come on the podcast.
Fan. Oh, ring ding 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 ding. She also tweeted at the NHL asking the same question. What the fuck I tell you, bitch ass dummies?
So
I think it's all-star content.
It could be all-star. Yeah. That makes sense.
She's trying to get people at the All-Star game.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Emilia de Moldenberg at the All-Star game.
I'd like for us to get Emilia de Moldenberg.
Absolutely.
We should tweet at her, hey, what is the best email to contact you via?
Yes. Let's do that now.
I'll do it right now.
Please do that right now.
Like word for word, same thing.
Yeah. Just copy and
put out that
paste.
same energy. Be like, thought we would speak your language. All right. So that get to the bottom of that. Pete owes me $2,000 tonight. The Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, wait, before we go, I do want to mention quickly, Noah Kahan, apparently a Maple Leafs fan.
Yeah, there was some video where he was on a FaceTime with somebody, and they were like, you're not a Boston fan, right? And he was like, no, but I think he might have just been like grab-assing a little bit.
Okay, because that would...
He said he was a Maple Leafs fan.
Okay, I hope that he's grab-assing because he has played the Boston card kind of heavily.
He lives in Watertown, right?
Somebody said that. I don't know if that's actually true, but he made a big deal about like, hey, I'm playing Fenway a couple times, and like this is a dream come true.
I've only heard one song by Noah Kahan, and that song fucking sucks. Stick Season is what it's called.
Stick Season. I like Noah Kahan a lot. I like Stick Season. I like a lot of Noah Kahan stuff.
It's Taylor Swift fair. It is 1
like
5 6 4 chord progression. It is boring. It fucking sucks.
I'm not a music nerd. I don't know. I have very little going on between these ears, especially when it comes to music.
Doesn't matter. You just got to have this.
I'm a very big inside my brain when music turns on. I'm the monkey with the cymbals, and if it sounds cool, if it sounds good, I'm in.
Matthew, do you see what Matthew's comment here? Not to backtrack a little bit. Tate McRae.
That's what I said.
Yeah, did you say Tate?
I think I said Bieber, McRae. If I didn't say McRae, but that's why going for they're gonna be there. I'm shocked that Amelia hasn't gotten Tate McRae yet. Although I could tell you personally, Tate McRae doesn't have time. She has a very busy schedule. I've been told that personally from her people.
I have heard that there's been a similar line of communication to another NHL media publication who was thrown a little bit of like a, hey, yeah, you can definitely get her at some point. And then as time has gone on, it's been, oh, nope, she's popular now. Not for you.
Are you saying this happened to somebody else other than us?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
I'm not going to say it right here, but like, yeah.
Spittin' Chicklets?
No.
What other media?
I'll tell you afterwards.
Nobody covers hockey.
I'm not going to throw out a private line of communication for another company.
Oh, it's Bleacher Report then.
No.
What does it matter?
It matters. I don't leak DMs and conversations.
This doesn't sound like. Okay, whatever. I don't want to break up your fun thing you got going there with DMing Bleacher Report, or who could it be? Is it like American Hockey Magazine?
No. The Oilers are going for 15 straight tonight.
Who's DMing? No, I'm just kidding. They go for 15 straight tonight. They play the Chicago Blackhawks, who are decimated with being the Chicago Blackhawks. It's just Connor Bedard is out, and
it's the last chance for this to be funny, though.
Right.
So this one does mean a lot, because if the Oilers win tonight, there is no rooting for them to fall short of history. Because if they lose to like the Nashville Predators, not funny, too tantalizingly close to record territory. This is the last stop on the Schadenfreude? Schadenfreude?
Yeah.
Last stop on the Schadenfreude train.
Another way of putting it is Rumpus Time ends at
I love Rumpus Time.
I haven't,
And it's been so long.
It's been a while since I've done a little Rumpus Time, but Rumpus Time ends at what, US 1 a.m. tomorrow morning?
Correct. Yeah. What time's the game start tonight? 10:30?
Yeah, but they're doing a birthday celebration for Jack. I need to check to see if Jack interacted with that. We are going to, so we try to get people to the YouTube. Sub, please. It's very, very important. If we get to 3,000 subs on YouTube by the All-Star break, which is, let's say, next Thursday, it's so important that we hit that metric, because if we hit that metric, something big happens, and I promise you, it's a big, awesome thing. It's going to be worth everyone's while. They're going to love it. So sub like crazy as a means of trying to drive you folks to the YouTube. Again, just youtube.com/@whatchaosshow. This evening, if the Oilers game gets interesting, we go live on the YouTube. That means like going into the third period, if it's tied or if the Oilers are down, we go live.
Or if they get their asses kicked in the second period again, like they did against Columbus. If the sweat starts to drop, we're going live.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that's a good. It's like the pornography thing. Like, you know it when you see it.
What?
Like if the
what is porn? You know it when you see it.
Right. They say
I've never heard that before, but that's a good That's pretty nice.
It's nice. Pornography is pretty nice.
Pornography is pretty nice.
Who's to say? If you know when you feel it.
That one's definitely that soundbite is definitely hitting the this week in grab ass.
Pornography is pretty nice. We'll go live, but here's my only rule.
Mm-hmm.
Like we shut the fuck up if there's any intermission content. Like we'll talk and screw around during the game.
Yeah, we show respect.
Right. The game is when we take the break. The real show is intermission when Gene and the boys are cooking. Have you noticed, by the way, there's like another set that they go to during the intermission? They have like 2 intermission desks.
It's a production, man.
They've got one where it's Gene and the boys, and they got one where it's like 2 guys standing, and they'll kind of go around the NHL, and they'll actually do a little hockey stuff. Every time they go, I'm like, no, Trump off. Turn it off. Like, go back to Gene.
I did see the other night that Bob Stauffer having quite a moment.
Yeah.
I saw Ryan Whitney tweet that like the Oilers are like 15-2 since Stauffer absolutely shook a kid on a free skate ice. Like it was like a 6-year-old kid, and he shimmied him on the ice. And Stauffer was having the time of his life. And it really turned the vibes around for the Oilers season, apparently.
Oh my God. I need to see that. Eric Gripperson in the chat says, if the Oilers fall behind, we're going to live stream porn.
Yes.
You heard it. We're going to have AI generate like...
Oh, you can't make that joke today of all days.
What happened?
Taylor Swift had like AI, very inappropriate AI porn splattered all over the internet.
Oh, fuck that. That's so fucking weird.
See, like it's a tough day. Like it takes a lot for me to sympathize with a Toronto Maple Leafs player. It takes a lot for you to sympathize with Taylor Swift.
You know how fucking easy it is to just give Taylor Swift a hard time normally while being right and correct? Just be like, hey, like she's the face of white privilege, and she makes mediocre music that is praised as being genius because people think that the only way they can keep jobs in music media is to say, Shaw, snap those fingers for me,
I'm
buddy.
putting my hands out the passenger side window here so that the cops and the chopper that's chasing us right now knows that I'm not complicit in this argument.
I was having the conversation, speaking of, now like I'm really asking for it, but I was having the conversation with a friend yesterday. They posted something. They posted a Hillary Clinton graphic saying like Margot and Greta Gerwig.
Oh, yeah.
You were done, blah, blah. So I responded to it with, where's that energy for Greta Lee Hill? And I voted for Hillary Clinton. And my friend was like, ooh, what are you saying? And I said, there was a grave injustice with a woman not being nominated at the Oscars this year. It was a Korean American woman. And I'm not hearing about that.
That's right.
And that's really upsetting as a white person, that like the whites are all gathering around their favorite white that didn't get nominated or whatever. And she was like, damn, like you see all the movies, you should put that out there.
Past
and
lives,
I said,
baby.
What's that?
Past lives.
Yeah. Love Past Lives. And I said, I hate myself. I do not get white women mad at me, hate myself.
It's a dangerous place to be.
Right. That can be taken the wrong way, and I won't do it. All I will say is I urge people who have not seen Past Lives to watch Past Lives, and hopefully you will arrive at the fact that the biggest snub was indeed a woman, and it was an Asian woman.
All the Barbie hoopla just has big, I've watched one movie this year energy.
Which generally we're okay with. Like when people get mad about like, why didn't this Drake album win? Like it's like, I get it. Like that's your favorite album, cool, whatever.
But it's not usually this is the most important movie ever kind of argument being made. Yeah. You know, like Barbie is not this is dangerous. Barbie is not that important.
Oh, no, it is. So I disagree with that. I think like a lot of young people hear America Ferrera's Tumblr speech, and like that's the first time they've ever heard that put that succinctly. I think to an adult, it's like, obviously. Yes, I hope everybody understands that. And if they're
okay, sure. Like for I think and I like Barbie. I like Barbie a lot, but it is not like the important piece of
We need to make a super
that
cut.
a lot of people are making it out to be.
Sean,
it's been done better so many more times.
Don't make the show tweet like, we talk about what's wrong with the Kings, and then it's both of us being like, let's piss off our fellow whites.
I like Barbie a lot, but it's a comedy. It's a dumb comedy for like 80% of the movie. And then there's one scene where there's like a good monologue.
Oh, Julie, my girl, says the only Oscar snub I care about is theater camp not getting any song noms. Sean, you see? No, you didn't see theater camp because I was all over you to watch it. Theater camp was like top 5 favorite movie of the last year.
Theater camp was very funny, very fun. Not top 5 favorite. It's like probably in my top 15.
Who's the guy? The guy from All of Us Strangers, I thought was like quote unquote snubbed, but no guy could be snubbed this year because like best actor was just good fucking luck. But man, folks, Pete and I will do a brunch episode soon on a bunch of things on which we need to catch up. But I will say, if you want to watch some movies, and especially I'll give you some, look at me, I'm going to ally and give a bunch of female-led movies because those are my favorite, not to brag. Poor Things, Anatomy of a Fall. You were a big Past Lives guy. I think you were like A+ on Past Lives.
Yeah, like 1A, 1B favorite movie of the year kind of situation.
Yeah, I was like A- on Past Lives. Really, really good. Just like it makes you touch your heart with both hands kind of movie. Those are 3 that I would say like get out there because those are ones
the
that
Holdovers too. If you haven't seen the Holdovers yet, incredible.
Holdovers, amazing.
A warm hug. That movie is a warm hug.
I really wanted a Best Picture nomination for Godzilla -1.
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm so excited to see it.
Like incredible. All right, we want to just go to the movies. Let's spin the wheel.
Let's spin the wheel, baby.
Spin that wheel for.
Also, just quickly, like has any social cause that is backed by Hillary Clinton is just immediately dead.
That does suck. Like it's like not cool anymore.
Pokemon go to the polls, everybody.
Did she say that?
She sure did.
She said Pokemon go to the polls?
Pokemon go to the polls when Pokemon Go was like...
I was going to say, like, I don't even get that. And I was a Pokemon.
Pokemon go to the polls. Like,
Pokemon go Oilers. Spin me. Or spin it for Pete.
Spin it for me. Let's go. Who do
Pete,
I...
You got to do a grab-assy one. All right? Grab-assy answer. And
I'm the hockey guy. Oh, it's the Anaheim Ducks. I don't have anything to say about them hockey-wise. So, Anaheim Ducks... Oh, we didn't even talk about the Canucks helmets last night. The Canucks helmets, they did debut the chrome blue buckets. I am not a fan. I'm out. At least not with the blue jersey.
What?
Not with the blue jersey. It doesn't match. It doesn't match on TV. Like
strong disagree.
It's way lighter than the jersey. It looks good in pictures. I'll give you that.
I didn't watch the game, so
it looks way better in pictures. I think that there's a chance that it could work with the away whites, but I'm out on these with the home jerseys. So
all right, that is Pete's Ducks take.
I give them credit for trying. My Ducks take is that the Ducks...
No, you already gave a take. You only get one take. Spin it for me. Spin it for me. Sean, if you don't spin that within 1 second, Sean, spin it. Pete already gave his Ducks take. You get one Ducks take a show. Bleep out what he said. Okay. My lightning take is that I think Nikita Kucherov is going to win the Hart Trophy. I think that this is his year. Always a bridesmaid, never a bridesmaid. I think that Nikita Kucherov is the best center in the NHL and is going to win the Hart Trophy.
Nikita Kucherov, suck on it, go to hell. No heart for you. Nathan MacKinnon's year.
I think that, no, he's the center now. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel.
Who does Sean have? Sean has the Columbus Blue Jackets for the second day in a row.
Me, Daddy.
Just give them. I mean, I don't know what to say. I guess I'll expand on my cannon comments from last night. We've talked about this. They need to get rid of the actual cannon. I don't think I've ever said this on the show, but I talked to you. Like, they need to boost their presentation a little bit. And it was very good, but they need to like have a like Revolutionary War style, like drummer boy come out and do the anthem every single time. That shit would go hard. And also, like, the Patriots, they use muskets. Let's use muskets instead of a giant fucking cannon. It scares me. It scared me.
Bring guns to the arena.
Bring guns to the arena. Yeah,
I'm not crazy about that. I do like this.
They do it for the Patriots.
I think that more NHL teams need to have live bands in attendance, like a
Utah
college
bad
type-
boys.
last
Zach
night-
Wild can
and-
bring Black Label Society.
Last night in LA, they had a sax anthem, and the dude had like a classic curled mustache and like a tux. It was crazy, and he
Hell
killed
yeah.
it. He didn't overdo it. He killed it.
I've been to Canucks games where they had a band going, where they're just like, "Hey, and check it out, there's a band over there," and he's like, "Oh."
Well, in Buffalo, the lacrosse team, the Buffalo Bandits, they have a bagpipes anthem, and
That's
the guy.
too much. Bagpipes are so annoying.
It's so
Bagpipes
hard.
are very annoying.
But it's
Bagpipes
dope.
are so annoying. They're
Lights
not
out,
pleasant.
spotlight on the guy playing the bagpipes as he walks down the stairs, like through the stands.
Okay, that's
down
kinda
to the
cool.
field.
I love the spotlight
Is it
walk.
a field in lacrosse?
I like
Indoor lacrosse?
pitch.
A pitch.
I like the Utah bagpipes, and they all come out. It's like, and your Utah bagpipes, and they all come out
Make it like Highlander themed for no
We
reason.
got some name suggestions for the Utah NHL team yesterday. I saw Soak Lake City, Salt Lake Soakers, Soak City, and the Humper Jumpers. So everybody's on board with the Mormon thing. I know you're not, but
Soak City is the hardest nickname for just
Soak City?
Salt Lake City. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
should be its nickname. Is Soak City.
Soak City is incredible.
God, they need a
If
team
they
now
had
just so
Soak
we can
City
make the
alternate
jokes.
jerseys. Amazing.
What I want to talk about is, Sean, you said a little drummer boy playing the anthem. I love the idea of a little boy walking out onto the ice with like one snare drum, and he plays the anthem and nobody's singing. Right. So he just comes out. He plays like the drum part for the national anthem. So he just walks out and goes,
Yeah.
and he just does a drum roll for like
For
200
minutes, yeah.
seconds.
for Adam
and then walks
Fantilli
out.
singing the national anthem because he's been healthy scratched by Pascal Vincent that night.
Did Adam Fantilli get healthy scratch?
No, but it's coming because Pascal Vincent just does crazy shit.
I think it should be a drum and a bugle with like just make it real Revolutionary War.
I like the idea of it not being sung or like anything. There's no melody, just the drum part. By the way, Ducks take that I have, Bruins game
Oh, we
last
already had
night.
one Ducks take. Sorry.
What's that?
We already had a Ducks take.
I didn't give it. No, you gave your Ducks take.
I gave several.
Pete, I've told you so many fucking times. We each get one Duck take a show. You gave a Duck take about their helmets.
Mhm.
Now, as my dad, Mike Felger, says, I talk, you talk. You said your piece about the Ducks. Sean said something about the Ducks.
Did I?
Now,
I have
yes.
something to say about the
You
Ducks.
shook that ass for the Ducks. Now I shake that ass for me. My Ducks take is Todd Angeli, not a very good anthem singer. I was in the house.
Oh, fuck off.
Tough to watch on TV. I was in the house last night for the game. It sounds better. It's the second time I've gone to third time I've gone to a Bruins game this year. It all sounds better when it's all big and all washing together with all the reverb there and everything.
Yeah.
It's not as distracting in person as it is on TV.
I mean,
You get mad.
breaking down an anthem singer is just insane behavior. Nobody cares about the quality of an anthem. They care about the anthem singer and the anthem ceremony feeding into like the presentation factor and the entertainment value. So like Todd Angeli and Renee Rancourt before him were essentially like mascots of the Bruins. And Renee Rancourt, definitely not a very good singer, but nobody cares because he was a beloved part of the community. Same with Todd, and don't slander this man's name. I love him.
Okay, you could love Todd. I'm just like the vibrato's a little out of control.
Who cares?
Intonation,
Nobody cares.
No good. I love, and the Leafs used to have this guy. I think they mix it up now. Like I like when a guy or a gal, the Lightning have a good singer who just like walk right in, and they're like,
She got that sparkly blue lipstick.
"Yep,"
Mhm.
just like, yeah, you wear whatever flair you want, but like, hey, I've come here to kick some ass with this anthem. Get in, get out. The one thing I like about Todd Angeli, I like a lot of things about Todd Angeli, but my favorite thing about Todd Angeli is much like Renee Rancourt before him, after singing the national anthem, he essentially celebrates as though he scored a goal. That I like about
did
Todd
notice that at
Angeli.
the game that we
Oh,
went
yeah.
to.
He
It was
does.
hilarious.
Do
He
you
got
see that
Allmark.
shit?
He was like pointing at Allmark, being like, "Let's go."
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
You fucking see, you heard it.
If I was
All me.
if I was Allmark, that would throw me off so much. I would just be like, "What?"
You can't throw off Ullmark.
Oh, I
man.
know, but that's why I said if I was Ullmark, I'm not built like him.
You don't got keto on the back of your mask.
I did not give a Ducks take. I just want to say I've thought about it a lot. If they don't go full blown back to the like duck in front of the triangle with the sticks crossed behind it, like I don't really want it. I don't really like the crest on their current purple jerseys.
Oh, so I like the 30th anniversary.
I think it's fine to good, but it's you have a way better option. So
that was my Ducks take.
Someone said the Kings have a marching band in the arena. I like the idea of it always going around the concourse.
No, the Kings should lean into like full blown British royalty.
I've been to Kings games. I don't remember seeing a marching band.
Okay,
well, I did go to the Stadium Series game in Carolina at NC State. They had like the NC State marching band or whatever band, and it was awesome.
Which is I can appreciate
why I want more of that stuff in the NHL.
Speaking of Stadium Series, Sean and I are deciding. Pete's going to go to the Stadium Series. Sean and I are deciding. Should we go too? I truly don't know the answer to that. And a lot of decisions with the show, we make with conviction. Bang, make the decision. All right, now plan it. This is the first thing we've thought about where I've been like, I need a couple of days to think about it.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know we were really thinking about it.
Yeah.
Do you want to go? It's close enough to consider. Like it's in New York.
Yeah.
When is it?
It is February
17th?
like 18th, 17th, and 18th.
Right, 17th is the good one. 17 has the Jonas Brothers.
I didn't understand a word you just said.
The Jonas Brothers.
Oh, okay.
The Jonas Brothers.
So
I'm hot.
we're going to the Jonas Brothers concert, and there's also a hockey game after.
That would be hard. I listen. Unironically, love the Jonas Brothers.
Yeah,
they have bangers,
and we have enough time to make Jonas Brothers NHL merch that we can wear there.
Oh, Stacey said it was a drum line, not a marching band.
Different
Drumline?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I can appreciate a good drumline.
Nick Cannon can't read music.
I do. Can he not?
Not in drumline.
Oh, I mean, reading
That's the
music
twist.
is not super important.
But clearly, he was awesome in drumline.
I think that things like reading music, especially like that can only encumber you. I think that a lot of the great music makers are unencumbered by the idea of rules and this is how it should go. So some of the greats don't read music, don't even know music theory. It's wild. Tonight, Blackhawks, Oilers. Oilers go for 15 in a row. I can't believe it, but I can. And if anything is funny and afoot, we'll be on Twitter and such. But if anything is afoot, we will go live here on the What Chaos YouTube. It's youtube.com/@whatchaos. Please subscribe at What Chaos Show. We'll post something on Twitter reminding you guys to subscribe. We're also trying to get pretty good about Instagram and TikTok reminders and such. But anything you can do, jump on there and enjoy our content because Sean has organized it very nice. We will talk to you either next week, where we've got some big stuff coming, or later tonight. Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.